Hello, you are listening to the Achilles podcast, where we talk about different cities and cultures from all over the world. My name is Hussein, and I'm joined here by my co host, my twin brother, Hassan.
Hi there, this is Hassan.
In this episode, we'll talk about Cairo. Cairo is the capital and the largest city of Egypt, and as you know, it's associated with the famous Giza pyramid complex and the city of Memphis. Cairo has the oldest and the largest film and music industries in the Arab world. Please enjoy. Ahmed, hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. What
Yeah,
about you?
I'm fine. I'm great.
Yeah. So, where are you at the moment?
Right now, I'm in Saudi Arabia, Khobar province.
Hmm. I see. But you are from Egypt, Cairo, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So today we'll talk about Egypt, Cairo, with Ahmad. So Ahmad, how different is Cairo from Saudi Arabia? They both are Muslim countries, so how different are they?
Oh, there's a lot of difference. Like, if in terms of population, like Egypt wins. Like Saudi Arabia is how much? I mean, seven, like I don't know, 20, maybe 30.
Hmm.
Egypt is 100 million people.
Wow.
And in a very, very small place. Yeah, in a very, very small place,
Hmm.
But in Saudi Arabia, it's different, there's a lot of people. And like they are separate, nothing is connected, which to be honest is the best thing.
Hmm.
It's not crowded, everything is organized and everything. But Egypt has a lot of history, and a lot of nice experience and things to do. But in Saudi Arabia, there's nothing much if you see it that way.
Hmm. And what about how different is the language?
The language is a little bit. Well, we don't talk the Arabic, the Fusha, which is supposedly we are supposed to talk it. It's a Egyptian accent. So it's I could say it's not hard, but it's not easy at the same time, because I think Arabic is the most difficult language in the world. For you to master it, it needs a lot of years for you to like get that level of like accent, and you could talk freely with each like with a native, you know.
Hmm. Yeah. So, is it Cairo or Cairo?
Cairo.
Which one is correct? Cairo,
Cairo.
Cairo.
Yeah.
Okay. In Russian it's Cairo, in Tajik it's Misr. In your language it's Al Cairo,
You mean like the Egyptian name? It's Al Qahira.
Al Cairo.
Yeah, Al Qahira means Cairo. Well, basically, Misr means it means Egypt. Misr.
Hmm.
Ah,
I
Yeah,
see.
Mr. Mr.
Ah.
yeah,
Okay.
Cool.
It's not Cairo. Yeah, good to know that.
yeah.
All right. Ahmed, could you talk about yourself a little bit?
Okay. Well, my name is Ahmed. I'm 19 years old. I'm gonna be 20 in May, 1st of May.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I am first year undergraduate at university in Malaysia, UTM, University of Technology, Malaysia, Johor Bahru.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, I'm studying mechatronics engineering, and it's gonna be online, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? I have two brothers and one sister. My father is a doctor,
Yeah.
and right now I'm living in Saudi Arabia.
Wow. What are you doing in Saudi Arabia?
My family is in Saudi Arabia, so
Mm.
I'm just staying with my family at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was in Egypt like a while ago, like 5 month, like yeah, 5 months ago. I was living in Egypt as the hope of leaving Egypt and go to Malaysia, so for my university. So, but there was mess, because of coronavirus and everything, it was cancelled, and they said like the first year is gonna be online.
Yeah.
So my father told me, instead of sitting alone at home, and he just told me, like, just come to Saudi Arabia, stay with him.
Yeah. And do you like it so far? Staying in Saudi Arabia?
Uh, well, to be honest, in Egypt you have like this free environment. You don't have, and there is a lot of things to do in Egypt, and like, but in the contrary, with Saudi Arabia, there is nothing much to do, except going to a mall, or sitting in a coffee shop, or going out for eating. Most of the things here are closed, because of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
But in Egypt, there is no rules, basically. Even with the coronavirus, when it first hit, people at first were scared, but the second week, people were going out and hanging out, and they didn't give a fuck. You just take their precautions, wear their mask and everything, and just hang out, because life in Egypt, it can't be paused for just one day. It's like a lot of people are depending on that one day. Just it's life changing.
Ahmed, how to say hi in your language?
أهلا. أو you could say ازيك عامل ايه, means hi, how are you doing, and everything. But basically, with friends, we don't say that. We just we just go through it, and we hang out most of the time. But if you're not very close to that person, yeah, you could say hi, how are you doing, what did you do yesterday, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Let's say I'm a foreigner, and if I go to Egypt, which one can I use?
You could say ازيك,
Zaik.
عامل ايه,
Okay.
إيه الأخبار.
Wow.
Yeah, عامل ايه.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just want to say like hi,
Uh-huh.
how are you doing,
Mm-hmm.
and what is, like, do you have news, like how are you, basically. It's like إيه الأخبار is another word to say عامل ايه.
I see.
Like it's
Mm-hmm.
same meaning. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and what the common way of greeting people? Our mutual friend Baha, he said that in Libya they kiss cheeks,
Yeah.
cheeks, yes, but what about Egypt?
Yeah, in Egypt, yeah, for men, you could, like, shake hands and, yeah, kiss, like, left and right, and that's it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in the weddings, this is so, it's so much, especially like when Corona hits and there was weddings, when I was there. They were like, they were wearing masks, of course, and everything. And they were just like taking their mask off and just giving kisses and just returning back and just putting back their mask, which is like, what is the point of wearing the mask, It's just like, so
Yeah.
weird, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
it's very common in Egypt too, like when someone's cough, like in a train station or in the metro, or anyway, he just takes his mask off
Mm-hmm.
and he coughs and he return it back. So he doesn't want it to
Oh man.
be unclean, which is so stupid, like, what is the point? You're putting the mask so that you could protect us and protect yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
it's so,
Yeah, it
but
happens.
yeah, things are complicated.
Yeah. All right. What might surprise foreigners if they visit your hometown, Cairo?
um they would be surprised of how, okay, for Egyptians, they would like welcome you and everything, and they're very friendly. We're very friendly, and we like another cultures, and to learn about each other's, and hang out, like, all the time. But you would just, most foreigner will just get like, uncomfortable, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of scammers, like
Ah,
especially if you're a foreigner, it's yeah, you're gonna find it a lot, especially in the pyramids. It's so they just ruined the whole experience there. Is it like even for me? I'm Egyptian. I went there,
mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
and they just ruined it for me. I could just enjoy the view and just see the pyramids and enjoy the weather and everything and take pictures as I want to. But you're gonna find a lot of scammers who wants you to ride a camel or a horse. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is so stupid. Like if I want to ride a horse or a camel, I would just go find you. Like why would you come and find me? I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just one time. It's just not one person. You're gonna find like a lot. Dozens who would just come to you and just offer for for you to, like to have a camel or a horse.
Mm-hmm.
um, and they would just bargain with you. They're gonna go so high, because you're a foreigner, and they basically gonna ask you where you're from because of that.
Yeah.
And they're gonna start with dollars.
Yeah.
Then if they saw you're smart and everything, then gonna go to pounds, like 800 or something for a horse just to see the pyramids and everything.
Yeah.
And then they could go down very low until 100, tops.
Mm-hmm.
Like see the different level, like eight from dollars from to 800s to 100 pounds. It's so incredible for me. Like I could just get like a ride for 50. It's just not like a racing horse
Yeah.
or a very perfect. It's a normal, like it's a car horse or something like that.
Ah, I see.
So it doesn't need that much money for you to.
So you should never accept the first
If you
price.
went to the pyramids, like if you, yeah, yeah, of course, never accepted the first
Mm-hmm.
price. Like even if he tries to convince you,
Yeah.
and whatever he does, like even if you accept it, because basically he wouldn't accept to the price until you get in the horse or the camel first. You would say prices, but he wouldn't care until you get in,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But you need to tell him like, I'm just gonna pay this,
Yeah.
just to be clear, or else just let me down here. Because basically, what they do is you go for them,
Mm-hmm.
and you said you want a horse, and they just get you to the horse. They don't talk about prices until you're riding your horse
Mm-hmm.
and everything, and you're gonna finish, and they just shock you at the end. It's gonna cost you that much money, and basically it's just like a 10 minutes like with the horse is nothing much,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't need that much money.
Yeah. I see. And speaking about pyramids, how often do locals go there, and how big is the pyramid in your life?
Well, for me, to be honest, I only went there for like two times. One when I was small with my father, and one when I was with my friends, this last year. Um, it's a nice experience to visit from time to time. I wish it was more, because the whole experience is ruined for you, So basically, you don't think going back.
Yeah.
There, like, you get me. Like if you went to a restaurant and you like the food,
Mm-hmm.
basically you're gonna visit again.
Yeah.
But for the pyramids, they have to I don't know, like the government or the people responsible for this place to organize it well, so people would like to come again, and see it, like bring their friends. But basically, if you went there and you're not happy with it, why would you invite your friends? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I see.
But overall, the pyramids are so nice,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very very high, and you're gonna take a lot of good pictures there,
Yeah.
you know. Um, the weather is so good down there, and there's also people who could like there to who takes pictures for you, like special pictures while you're like lifting the pyramids, or you're holding the pyramids or
Yeah.
something like that, or kissing the pyramids, or the
Yes.
I think you saw that, or the Sphinx.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, but you need to be careful though. Like they would scam you too. So yeah, because I have a lot of friends when I was in Egypt, and they paid a lot. You know,
I see.
they paid for foreigners. Like it's different from Egyptians to foreigners. Okay, so for international people, it's about £200. You know. Okay, and that's it. You could finish all the pyramids and go to the Sphinx and all of that with just uh with just like walking, you know, 10 to like 20 minutes or 30 minutes max. You're gonna finish everything. You know, you don't need a horse to see all of this. You know, maybe most people haven't ride a camel or something. Yeah, it would be amazing. That's it.
So it's pounds there, right? I mean,
Egyptian
Egyptian
pounds?
pounds.
Yeah, Egyptian pounds. Yeah.
Okay. So since we are talking about this, the shocking stuff, so what about the traffic? We heard that people don't really need a driving license to drive, to have a car. Is that true?
In most places it is. Like if you're in a village or something, you know, you don't need, you know, like a driving license. You could just like have your friend's car or your father's cars, and you could drive. No one would stop you. Even if they do, you know, you could just give him like some money or something, and he's just gonna let you go, you know. And that's the most. And even if you want to have a license, you could just sit home and just pay more money, and they're gonna send you the license, you know.
Wow.
That's why driving in Egypt is fucked up, you know, because mostly when people drive, there's a lot of accidents because they're not educated how to drive in a proper driving schools. And there's no like a paper test to know the signs, where to go and where to leave. There's nothing like that, you know.
Yeah. I see.
But in very famous districts, like in Egypt, you have to have a license because, like, when you're like driving and everything, you're gonna find a lot of police station spots where they're gonna stop you, you know. And sometimes it doesn't work out, you know. You could go to jail or have a fine to pay, you know. Especially if you try to pay money for him, you know. It's a 50-50 risk.
Okay, let's talk about movies and music. Yeah, we heard that Egyptian movies and music is so popular among Arabian countries. Yeah. So,
Uh,
can you explain why?
well, to be honest, because of the I'm not a fan, to be honest, of Egyptian music, you know. But from time to time, maybe if I'm with my friends, it's fine, you know, to just because it's very noisy, you know. And like most of the lyrics, it doesn't make sense, you know. It doesn't adds up, you know. It doesn't like make a sentence.
Yeah, it's
you
good
know?
when you don't understand it.
Like if you compare it to English,
Yeah.
yeah, and in terms of English music, it has a story, or it has a meaning, you know. Like it maybe talks about a girl or something, you know. Mostly English stories talks about a girl
love, yeah.
or a problem that happened with someone. But in Egyptian like music, they just talk about themselves, how proud, like especially the famous actor, and he's a singer now, Muhammad Ramadan, if you know him. I think that he's now famous in most Western countries because of his music, you know.
Yeah, we haven't heard yet.
Yeah, and yeah, most like it's very noisy for me, you know. I don't listen that much to it, you know, because it's gonna destroy my eardrums, to be honest. But yeah, with friends and everything, it's famous because it has a good vibe, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah, I guess that's it.
And what about movies? Do you watch
Egyptian
Egyptian
movies?
movies?
Okay, Egyptian movies are good, but there's only famous actors which are like in the top, which are very nice to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But and also there is series, you know, but it's only good only in Ramadan, you know. But all the other series is not good for me. You know, there's the famous series only come in Ramadan, and they're very very nice to watch.
Yeah.
For the movies, I could tell you a bunch of actors which are they do a nice movie. One is called Ahmed Helmi,
Mm-hmm.
and who else? Also, Muhammad Ramadan does movies, you know. But basically, I don't like his movies because he always dies at the end, which is like, why do you have to die? And then you could live, and it like we could have a good ending, you know.
Yeah. So you prefer happy ending movies?
Uh, if it's a real movie, it's not a non-fiction. Like if it's fiction,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
it's fine by me, you know. But if it's unreal,
Mm-hmm.
it's non-fiction. If it's a non-fiction, if it's a fiction story,
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. With whatever, like the ending, you know, to
Mm-hmm.
whatever happens, it's fine by me.
Okay.
Like if he dies at the end, yeah, of course. But if it's non-fiction story, if it's talking about a real thing,
Yeah.
I prefer it to be a nice ending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ahmad, if you could choose three aspects of your culture to put in a time box for the future, what would you put in it?
Um, I would put. Um, I think there's a lot of things, you know, but basically most of it, I don't feel it because it's there, you know, in my life. Um, I could tell you things that I wish it's still there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not there anymore. Like people used to back in the days, back in the days, life were so easy, and usually people when they make food at home, you know,
Mm-hmm.
they used to like share plates, you know, like with other neighbors, you know, and the same. And each time, like every time, you have to fill the plate when you return it, you know.
Oh, yeah,
So
we have
basically,
that.
they send you a plate full of foods.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have to do the same thing, you know. But it's not there anymore because you know life is hard nowadays and things are getting complicated.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
What else? Um, um, I don't know. Like maybe I think I would love like the cultural thing to still exist. You know, because nowadays Egypt is going the like destroying its culture basically, and I wish it continues. You know, like the traditions, the food, all of this experience. Like I wish it exists. You know, in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And the pyramids and the what is it called, most of the like Sharm el Sheikh, all these places, famous places in Egypt, I wish like it's exists, you know, doesn't fades out.
Huh. And what about the food? What food would you recommend to try?
Food I would recommend, okay, any food I'm gonna recommend, you wouldn't find it in a restaurant, you know. Only maybe one or two maximum, and you're not gonna find it anywhere else. And it wouldn't be as much as good as food at home, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe of course, I don't know if you know it. Mahshi is our top famous dish, and you have like duck,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
No, we.
and some
Mm.
Egyptians.
Yeah.
Yeah, some Egyptians eat rabbit. I'm not a fan, to be honest.
Okay.
I haven't tried it. I'm not planning to. Yeah. Some of them eat rabbits. And you have the famous also soup, which is ملوخية.
Ruchia. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
mm,
Bahat likes it, to be honest. Yeah.
I also heard about the food kosher,
Koshir.
kosher,
Yeah, of course. I was just gonna say that. Koshari.
kosheri.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically like macaroni with onions and tomato sauce and
Mm,
some chili spices,
mm-hmm.
and it's all mixed it up, and it gives that nice flavor, And there's hummus too. So
What is that?
hummus. It's a
Hummus. Ah.
I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
is it called in English to be. Yeah, it's a yellow thing, circular. It's
Mm-hmm.
also put in the koshari, and it's very cheap, to be honest, and most people eat it a lot.
Okay. Could you also explain the bigamy? In other words, having two wives. We talked a little bit about this before we went online, before we started recording. So can you explain that, the rules?
Well, basically, not just in Egypt, in I think in any most Muslim countries, you're allowed to have four wives, but it doesn't mean you could do that without consulting your wife. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like a force thing. And I think this rule or this thing is only applied for like people who are very old or having like as I told you, like if someone's like a brother is dead and his wife is alone,
Mm-hmm.
and he needs to help her, just to take care of her and her children and everything.
Yeah.
He have to marry her so that he could do that.
Oh, I see.
And yeah, but basically it doesn't happen, like without the first wife agreeing to that,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
you know
Yeah.
because I don't think any wife nowadays in our modern society would. Maybe some do for money, but mostly I don't think why would she accept that to herself.
Yeah.
Like it's not very common.
So even if they have second wives, they need to take care of them equally, right?
Yeah, they need to take care of them, and it's gonna be, to be honest, it's gonna be hard to have this equal relationship between the first and the second,
Mm-hmm.
and giving this her rights and the second one her rights too. And at some point, from my experience, especially Egyptians, there is gonna be like some jealousy between, or some problems or fights, which you're gonna go to a lot of drama and family problems. And to be honest, you don't want to put yourself in such a situation.
Yeah.
You're already having stress from work and transportation, so you don't need to go home and have another problems.
Yeah, right. One is enough. Yeah.
Like, yeah, one is already causing you a lot of problems, so why bring in a second one?
Yeah, unless there is a situation that you explained, like there's need to be someone to take care of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a like if there is a problem, like there is some sort of rules, that applies to that,
Mm-hmm.
to take care of them or something, or um, like a brother, as I told you.
Yeah.
It depends on this, and to be honest, it doesn't happen if the first wife doesn't agree.
Wow, that's good. All right, Ahmad, what is the best time to visit your country, to visit Cairo?
Summer. best time to visit it.
Summer,
It's gonna be
June,
hot, to
July.
be honest, but yeah, yeah, it's better because you can do a lot of things beside winter. Um, you could, of course, you could go to Cairo first. You could go to the pyramids, see the museums, go to downtown, uh, like look at all the fabrics and the clothes and everything. It's very famous in Egypt. There's a special thing in I don't know about it, to be honest, but they say there's a special thing about clothing in Egypt.
Yeah.
What else? You could visit the tower. You could go to the Nile River and have some boats and some music. It's called Faluka. And have like bunch of your friends and enjoy a whole day in the Nile River, and you could be in a boat and you could have a barbecue and eat and drinks at night.
Yeah.
And there's Egyptian music, of course. And yeah.
Good.
And of course, you have the opera. You could go to the opera. There's a lot of nice events there. What else? Yeah, mostly in Cairo, there's hanging out with friends, going to, like a very fancy place, like to eat, or a very famous one. There is a lot of famous restaurant in Cairo, which is Sobhi Kabir, and there is Prince restaurant. There's two famous restaurants that I would recommend. It's very close to homemade food.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. I see.
And what else do you have? Yeah, that's it in Cairo. Then you could go visit the Sharm el Sheikh and Dahab, some hiking, the mountains, Mount Catherine, it's very famous in Dahab. It's very, very nice. It's basically a 6 hours climbing and the 6 going down.
Wow.
It's very, very nice experience. I would recommend. Yeah, very, very nice. Yeah, at first you're gonna get tired going up, but
Yeah, of course.
you're gonna stay there until the morning. Yeah, of course. You're gonna stay there until the morning and have something to eat there at the top. Then you could go down like after 5 at the sunrise. Take some pictures and you could go down.
Wow, that must be so beautiful to see the sunrise.
Yeah, it's exactly, it's so beautiful there, and especially the beaches. It's so nice, and the weather is there is so good, especially in the summer. It's very hot. You could go to the beaches, and the water there is very, very clear. And there's a famous place here called Laguna, if
Laguna,
you
okay.
love to go there. Yeah,
And how cold is it in winter?
it's actually so cold. I myself, I went in January.
Yeah.
And it was fine somehow, but the first 2 days or 3 days it was so cold. It's like the weather is cold, and not just that, like the wind. So much.
Are you talking about mountains or the Cairo?
Well, no, like near the beaches, you're gonna find that like the wind is so powerful. But in the mountains, no, it's fine in the mountains. It's just cold, so cold in the mountains in winter.
So cold, it's like 0 degrees or 10.
No, not that much. Like normal cold. I actually don't know the how much Celsius, but like you need to wear like 2 jackets or something. To cover your head and ears. That's it. But it's not like freezing cold. Like there's no snow.
Yeah.
It's just cold, normal cold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and wind.
And what about in Cairo? In winter, do you need a jacket?
Yeah. In Cairo too, you need a jacket.
Wow.
You know, it's like I got like you're gonna get sick if you didn't wear proper clothes in Egypt because of the weather is like your hands even, like it's so cold. Your hands, if you touch the metal or something, just you can't bear it.
Wow.
And one more thing, I just wanted to add it.
Yeah, please.
Like raining
Uh-huh.
in Egypt is raining in Egypt is so bad. You wouldn't like to go out in a raining day. you know like basically when it's raining in Egypt, it's just for 10 minutes or 5 minutes. It's so bad, like, because there's no sewage, because there's no system of sewage. So it's so, like, just for 5 minutes, it ruins the whole street, you know and there's like a lake full of water.
Wow.
And when it's raining a lot,
Yeah, but of course, as I told you, it depends on the place where you're living. If you're in a fancy, like a district, you wouldn't find that.
I see.
But if you're like a very crowded place or a very like Egyptian place, you would find it like lakes and water and mud, like a lot of mud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
it's raining in spring or autumn, winter,
It's raining in winter.
in winter.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Ahmad, how people can find you if they have any questions?
I have an account in Instagram or Facebook. They're fine to text me anytime.
Cool.
If they are like if they have plans on going to Egypt, they could just contact me.
Cool. And is there anything left? Is there anything left that you would like to you would like to talk about? I mean, something that we haven't mentioned.
Something you didn't mention.
Yeah, you would like to share.
Well, I would just any people, like, they could have the best time of their life in Egypt if they met the right person.
Yeah.
It depends. Yeah, you're gonna be lucky if you met a very, very nice person who just be with you 24/7, and then you go out with him and he like tells you where to go exactly. It's like a tour guide. But it's way, way more safe approach, to go out and hang out. Instead of going out by yourself, you are like 90 to 80% you're gonna get scammed by anything.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be much for you, but for him it's too much, I guess.
All right. Ahmad, thank you so much for taking the time. And
You're welcome. Anytime.
How to say bye in Egypt?
أشوفك بكرة means see you tomorrow.
no, in our case, it's not.
Yeah, or salam.
Salam.
Our salam.
Oh, خلاص salam, فاهم? Like we end the conversation by خلاص salam.
Khalas. All right, Ahmad. Thank you, and and khalas.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, man. You're welcome. Anytime.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. If you have any questions or comments, you can send us an email at theachilovs@gmail.com. And you can find us on all the major podcast platforms like Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, and so on. Until next time, goodbye.